Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. So first time making a sit down video in a while. I got reminded the other day as to how frequently I used to do these, and of course my content in this kind of style is more frequent on my members site, which if you do wish to join, this is not a plug, it is kind of a plug. If you wish to join, I'll leave the links below. But the topic of today's video, so it's essentially why more of us and more people should be playing the long game. And what I see across the majority of the fitness industry is a wise population of people playing the short game. What do I mean by the short game? I mean that you're only interested in the instant gratification of wanting to look a certain way, wanting to appeal to a certain person or fit into a certain mold. And the mold, unfortunately, at the moment, is something that I'm trying as hard as I can in my off season to display a different mold. The mold that we're seeing is that you have to be, shredded, or you have to be aesthetic to fit in. You have to have abs, relatively year round. You have to be vascular, and you have to fit into your extremely tight tops in the gym and look wonderful all the time and have aesthetic jawlines, etc. That instant gratification, guys, at ages of 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 years old, whatever, that's gonna do you no favors in terms of accruing muscle mass. None. Like legit no favors. Because you're going to be constantly in a state of either maintenance or deficit caloric intake. You're not going to be fueling your ability to lay down tissue. Now, if your goal is to primarily stay aesthetic and to just, that's it, and not to step on stage and not to win shows, of course, go for it. Absolutely no issues. But if your goal is to legitimately be the most muscular person that you can be, you are going to have to suck up the shit and play the long game. The long game is literally going about the muscle gain process with as much patience as possible. I've been gaining now for 6 months, and that's a relatively long period of time for me. I had in my head the other day, I was like, I'm due a mini cut. I've been gaining for like 6 months. And someone told me, someone who I look up to really just sort of said to me, like, AJ, you don't need a mini cut. You don't need to. And I needed to be reminded of that. Even as a coach, an educated coach, I needed someone to remind me to play the long game. And that's sad. And that just shows what social media does. Because I was thinking, by social media standards, I'm probably eking up to the upper end of body fat limits. But by natural bodybuilding standards and by pushing my body weight up standards and actually making progress, I'm nowhere near where I need to be to warrant a mini cut or to warrant reducing my caloric intake. And sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, I don't like the way that I look. I pose after the gym, and yes, I've got good fullness and I get good pumps. And yeah, that's cool, and yeah, I fill out hoodies a little bit more and t-shirts. But I don't like this look. Man, I really don't. Like, I prefer taking off everything and looking shit hot. And the frustrating thing that I sometimes do to myself, which is bad, so I look back at shredded photos or shredded videos, and I always think, man, I want to look like that. The mini cut won't warrant that, because I'll get nowhere near that. So why spin my wheels? Why waste time doing that when in reality, the long game will get me to a better end product. The end product is the only thing I'm interested in. 2020 or whenever I next compete is the only thing I am interested in. And that's the only thing you should be interested in. If your goal is to compete, fuck doing mini cuts for instant gratification. And fuck looking lean for an expo, a body power, whatever. Fuck that. It's legit, screw it. Why do you need to do that? You don't. So don't do it. I'd be more impressed when I see, and this is why I'm impressed by, and I'll shout out I'll shout out, my friend Jack Richardson. I'm impressed by that kid because he doesn't mind pushing up his body weight considerable amounts. That guy's next time he diets down, he's gonna have a ton more tissue because he is probably one of the strongest dudes I know at his age, and there's no one else doing what he's doing. And as a factor of adaptation, if he's doing what other people aren't, he's going to have what other people don't have. Just let that set in for a minute. If you're constantly pressing 40 kilo dumbbells for like sets of 4 and just retaining all your strength and retaining your squats, and if your training looks like the same year round, you can expect to look the same year round. When do you see, and I'm not being harsh here because they have hit PRs, but when do you see Christian Guzman, Lipsett, or any of these other big names that stay relatively lean, when do you see them really hitting like lots of PRs? I don't see it. They might not share it, fair enough, they might not share it, and someone might correct me and say that they actually do hit PRs, which is fine. But you don't see them frequently hitting PRs. Okay? There are some young kids out there that are doing very well. There's some young kids that are probably stronger than me, whether they're natty or not, I don't know, but they're stronger than me in some aspects. Like David Lade is extremely strong for his body weight and his age, but he has to play a role. He's sponsored. He makes a large majority of his income through sponsorships. You're not sponsored if you're watching this. You're probably not sponsored, and no one's paying you to have abs. So why do you need to have them? Instant gratification is the only reason. Play the long game, guys. Eat your caloric intake. Eat in a surplus, whether it be a small surplus or a larger surplus. Eat in a surplus. Actively search to push your body weight up and gain weight, and progress your lifts in a manner that makes you get scared of this. Get scared of this. Start doing stuff that you've never done before. Start doing stuff that not many other people do, and you'll start to look like outrageous. You'll start to look like other people don't look like. You'll start to look different. And that's exciting to me. That's what excites me about the sport. Not maintaining a relatively okay physique, because you'll just fit in with the crowd. Screw fitting in with the crowd. Stand out, alright? So that's going to be the video for today, guys. It's just something I want to put out there. It's something I wanted to get off my chest. Hence why I'm putting it on my YouTube channel, so it can reach more people. But of course, like I said, plug earlier on, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my membership site. It's $4.99 a month. It's dead cheap. Lots of videos like this, over 100 videos, both workout and sit down videos. So check that out, and thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.